Hello everyone, this is Victor with PhoneArena, and today we've got a bargain price device with decent specs for you, the Alcatel OT-995 Ultra. It's made by the French company Alcatel, and while the name might not ring a bell, the company has been around for quite a while and definitely has the experience to make a decent device. Is this device such though? We're not so sure. It has a nice and spacious 4.3-inch display, and it comes with an extremely affordable price. If you're hunting for specs, it definitely looks like a bargain, but the bland design and makes it look a bit too utilitarian for its bargain price. Should you care about this? Let's find out and start with the design first. The Alcatel One Touch 995 Ultra looks pretty ordinary, and if the Alcatel brand wasn't right there in the front, we'd easily mistake it for just another smartphone from China. It's a typical plastic slab with rounded corners. Call it conservative design, for us it's bland. It's not too thick at nearly 0.4 inches and nor too heavy at almost 4.4 ounces. In the hand it feels comfortable to hold with a clean, soft touch plastic back, and that's also a practical decision as soft touch plastic won't catch smudges. In a nutshell, the build is solid but a bit dull. The front side is all encircled with a plastic siding, and the device features 4 standard capacitive Android keys. And a couple of small issues with the design are the unevenly lit buttons. You can see this right here, and the screen lock key is right on top, and it's a bit tucked too much to the inside, so it's not very comfortable to press. The biggest highlight of the One Touch 995 Ultra is clearly the 4.3-inch Tau VGA LCD capacitive display. Last year this was the size and resolution of high-end devices, and now it's on such a low-cost device, and that alone is amazing. We're pleased with the brightness and the quality of the display. As on most LCD displays, whites look impressive, contrast is good, but blacks look a bit on the gray side. Viewing angles were decent, with colors getting washed out slightly out on extreme angles. The handset ships with Android 2.3 Gingerbread, which is hard to swallow even for lower priced devices. SPB's 3D shell skin is on top of Gingerbread, but it seems to add more of that superfluous visual flair and less practical improvements, and in some ways it's just not aesthetic. For example, the default icons are sometimes surprisingly ugly, and that's disappointing. No ice cream sandwich also starts to mean more and more as the Android platform evolves. A lot of the apps that are crucial to the experience, like Chrome, Flipboard, and Instagram, all require ICS. And basic functionality though is great, just what you'd expect of Android. Contacts can be easily synced with Google, and you get the rich options of the Android phone book. Typing messages on the preloaded keyboard was also a breeze on the big screen. And performance is one area we really care about deeply on Android, especially for lower-end devices. That infamous Android lag has ruined the experience for way too many users too many times. Luckily, here is barely noticeable, and Gingerbread went smoothly for the most part. You still have the phone stutter weirdly here and there, and animations weren't buttery smooth, but nothing catastrophical. We enjoyed playing Angry Birds and Temple Run, and were generally content with the performance. So what powers the device? It's a 2nd-gen Snapdragon chip with a 1.4 GHz single-core Scorpion processor, a fair 512 megabytes of RAM, and Adreno 205 graphics. On Quadrant, the clocked-up processor made a difference, and the device scored around a whopping 2,700 points. Alcatel bundles the phone with a 4GB micro SD card, and additionally there are 2 gigs of internal storage, of which 860 megabytes are available to the user. For surfing the web, you have the Android browser and a plethora of choices on Google Play. The default browser does the job well though, and it's perfectly responsive, scrolling and zooming in and out. The bigger screen only contributes to the experience, of course. And for connectivity, you have Wi-Fi and 3G. Also, the HDMI port at the bottom allows you to stream your movies and images to an HD TV. The handset comes with a 5 megapixel camera, autofocus camera with LED flash on the back, and it has a nice menu that looks a bit like the one on ICS. The picture quality though disappointed us. Colors tend to be unnaturally cold with a greenish tint. Images lack detail, and we wish the annoying shutter sound could be turned off. Video is better though. The rear camera shoots 720p HD video at 30 frames per second. The camera quickly and automatically focuses on objects while shooting video, and colors look punchier, warmer. It's not perfect but definitely decent. Alcatel is also including a front-facing VGA camera, which is great for video calls and apps like Skype. Media playback is awesome on the big 4.2-inch WVGA screen. The phone plays back 720p HD videos easily. 1080p, however, is too daunting of a task and it won't muscle them up. The call quality on the device is good with both our callers and us hearing each other well, and the voice sounded natural and clear. The earpiece though was a bit quiet, and for noisy environments that might be a problem. Otherwise you'd be fine, and if you peel away the back cover you'd see a 1500 milliamp hour battery. And let's just quickly try and peel away the back cover of the device to see the battery. And this will take a while. Here we go. And here is the battery. It's easily removable and it's 1500 milliamp hour. And the battery lasted us through the day on average use, but not much more. As with most Android devices, getting that charger ready at the end of the day is our general advice. You cannot buy the Alcatel One Touch 995 Ultra on contract at any US carrier. Off contract, its price varies across markets, but it generally ranges from $250 to around $270, which is very affordable. On its own, the One Touch 995 Ultra doesn't really stand out in the crowded Android world. It looks like a bargain, and it indeed is if you're chasing pure specs like the 4.3-inch screen. But if you care about the actual experience, the phone leaves a lot to be desired. Design is bland, the user interface lacks aesthetics, and the camera is mediocre. If we had to mention rivals, we'd look at last year's LG Optimus Black for an Android alternative coming with a slightly smaller but brighter screen and a more alluring design. The Nokia Lumia 710 costs almost the same and will let you experiment with Windows Phone. A truly great camera and buttery smooth performance, but also has a smaller 3.7-inch display. And for strictly utilitarian purposes, the device here will definitely do, but if you want more than that, you should look elsewhere. And thanks for checking out this review. You can look for more details about the handset at PhoneArena.com, and thanks for watching.